Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Referrals Podcast. And I would be remiss if I did not say Happy New Year. And you probably had your champagne, beers, and cheers. But I decided to proclaim 2026 as the year of the sphere. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The year of the sphere is here. Do you have a fear of the sphere? Do you have a fear of the sphere? Or do you need a kick in the rear when it comes to the sphere? Here's the thing. Open your ears so you can hear, because today's guest says, hold my beer. She makes it clear that the sphere should be near and dear to our hearts. She's going to help you not only perk your sphere, but get your sphere in gear. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Year of the Sphere 2026. I cannot wait to get to our content today, but I'm going to make you wait because I've got a shout out that I've got to give. And I'm telling you, Jesse Kern is a real estate agent. He said this was the first time that I officially applied the event mastery system, and the results honestly exceeded my expectations. I found out about all this from the podcast. I ended up getting into the class, implementing. We had our best turnout yet, a smoother and more organized flow throughout the event, and amazing connections all around. In the end, we gave out 12 referrals to our sponsor partners and received 5 real estate referrals in return, one of which is already closed, which was such a powerful reminder of how impactful relationships and intentional systems can be. Jesse Kern, I really appreciate that and love it. And I do know Jesse is already getting referrals within the Generosity Generation. I encourage all of you that are listening today to join the Generosity Generation at joingengen.com. That's joingengen.com. It is a free Facebook group, but it is a private Facebook group. Answer 2 or 3 questions. We get you in, and that is our global referral group at the Generosity Generation. We would love to have you. Speaking of people we love, and speaking of long time coming, this interview is a long time coming. I can't tell you how excited I am for this conversation that we're going to have today with Liz Johnson. Liz Johnson is a real estate professional out of Western Washington who has successfully closed over 1,500 property transactions since 2004. A proud U.S. Army veteran, thank you for your service, Liz brings discipline, integrity, and mission-driven mindset to every deal. Her business thrives on referrals from friends, family, and past clients, a reflection of the deep trust and long-term relationship she builds with each and every one of them. In addition to her real estate accomplishments, Liz is the author of Perk Your Sphere and recently released newest book, a build-off of the Perk Your Sphere system. Get your sphere in gear, further showcasing her passion for helping others master the art of relationship-based business and doing business with your sphere. Without further ado, let's welcome to Referrals Podcast, Liz Johnson.
Well, thank you, Michael. It is an honor to be here. And I've been looking forward to this for years as well. I was like, where's my call? But here we are.
Long term coming. We have connected on Facebook a little bit, and we've connected in some other ways. And you're right. This is a long time coming. This conversation should have happened a long time ago. Well, it is the year of the sphere, and you're the Perk Your Sphere expert, and I am so genuinely curious about a million things. Like, one of the first things is, like, was there a moment in your business when you realized that the sphere is the way to go? The referral-based model actually works, And like, what made you decide to focus on the sphere?
Well, I've done both. I definitely started working my sphere when I was new, and then I got into cold calling and whatnot for a time as well. And then I really just realized that working with my sphere and with the community and whatnot was just a better experience, I feel, for me at least. And I would think for the client, um, there's just I don't know, a sense of trust already when someone has handed that person your info or vice versa. Um, and it's less contentious or awkward or whatever.
Yeah, it's always great to have that foundation of trust in the exchange versus having to try to overcome a big barrier of trust and getting them to trust you and love you. Like what about the sphere like drives you the most, or what do you appreciate about working with your sphere the most?
A lot of things, but most recently, since I've been in business 21 years, I'm starting to help people's children. Like client, it's the craziest thing. I've had a couple reach out and I'm like, young lady, you are 9 years old. And she's like, well, I'm 30 and I have two kids now, but okay. Um, but it's fun to see them go through all of the whole process. And then it's fun to see, like, let's say, I sold somebody a house last year, or even 5 years ago, to see them raising their families or
Mm,
experiencing their life through social media in a house that I helped them get. That,
mm,
there was an old Zillow commercial from years ago about like, you're not just buying a house, you're buying where you're buying your future memories or something like that. And
mm.
I thought about that. I'm like, that is really cool. We get to be a part of these people's lives. And when you're working with your sphere and with referrals, they're people that you stay in touch with on the long term. And it's not a transactional relationship. It's a real relationship.
Yeah, I love that. And you're known for making clients, and honestly, lots of people feel genuinely supported, not just served. From your perspective, like what does that from a client experience or customer service aspect, what does it look like? Like what does it look like from your avenue, especially like post-transaction?
It's so many things. It could be as simple as just showing up, just answering your phone. It doesn't have to be big and elaborate. Even just this morning, I was walking my dog in the community, and my dog was trying to eat one of my clients. She had a little nativity scene out still from Christmas, and I was like, "You can't eat the baby Jesus," and I thought it was funny, so I texted her after I got home, and I said, "Hey, you might catch us on your Ring camera." My dog was fascinated with the baby Jesus. And so it's just staying in touch. And it doesn't have to be this whole like, hi, Michael, how are you? Have you thought about buying or selling a house? It can just be, my dog was trying to eat your baby. Uh,
Your baby
uh,
Jesus.
the baby
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or even a lot of times it's just, hey, I was thinking of you. I was in your neighborhood yesterday on something else and I thought of you.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
like getting
so
those texts and calls. I figure other people do.
and they're just being friendly, relationship building, and like you said, they're very rarely about real estate whatsoever. They're about being a human and being part of the community with them. And that's what I think I love the best about like your books, and I think we just jump right into that is with Perk Your Sphere. So what are the main two or three points of Perk Your Sphere, and what about Perk Your Sphere leads to referrals?
Well, Perk Your Sphere is a book about how to create a perks program for your clientele. And I actually used your book to create this in a weird way. Um, well, not in a weird way, but basically, I decided like, who are my raving fans? And then I went into where your book comes in, like, okay, I can call these people and I can send them an email and I can send them a birthday card. But wouldn't it be best? to get belly to belly with them because that's the highest level of communication. So I was like, how can I get in front of them? And a friend of mine, he had a very similar program. I thought it was a little complicated and expensive. So I took it, pared it down, made it my own, and just created a system where we have a monthly giveaway or an event. So the giveaway, like for January, we did new face, new or new year, new face. And I partnered with a friend of mine in the community who's a chemist and has created her own skincare line. So we
Okay.
created these cute little gift bags with some of her skincare products, and people answer up for that. We say the first 10 people, 12 people, 20 people, depending on what it is, what I think the demand will be, the budget, of course, we got to stay in budget. Uh,
Yep.
and I'm helping her business. I'm helping my business because I have a reason to get face to face with my past clients and raving fans. And then I'm helping them just by giving them free whatever it is.
Well, I absolutely love that. And by the way, my New Year's resolution is a new face. I am losing a chin this year, one way
All
or
right.
another, either through really good lighting or weight loss. I haven't decided which way I'm going to go with the new year, new face, but I really like the whole thought of that.
Yeah.
The other part of that is okay, if you don't mind, like let's break this down. Let's talk about me being in your sphere and what do I see from you in January?
Okay, so, well, in January, you also get a settlement statement if you bought a house last year.
Okay, so if I'm a
That's
client, I'm getting the folded,
yeah,
expenses and settlement statement and
yeah, that's
a
just the
note in
gift.
there about taxes, right?
And
All
that we
right.
were thinking of you. But if you're somebody who refers me business, on the first of every month, you get an email and also a follow-up text because you know how emails can be. But
Mm-hmm.
it'll say this month's giveaway, don't wait. And we have a picture of what it is. And sometimes it's an event. So, like our December was a Christmas party I threw for
Okay.
everybody. Oh, wait,
Okay.
no, I take that back. We did the Christmas party in addition. Our Christmas giveaway was tickets to Fantasy Lights. One of the parks like lights up the whole park with Christmas
Love it.
lights.
Love it. All right.
Um,
All
but
right.
yeah,
So first of the month in January, I got an email with a follow-up text that says, "This is New Year, new face." And so break that down for me a little bit. And I totally get why you're supplementing the email with a text because people just don't read emails like they used to, and it gets lost in like the four different categories they could have, right? And so
or
we,
they end up in spam because,
yeah,
like, for a time we were using one system and I think it was Bomb Bomb, and it became where the open rate was terrible. You got to
right,
track this stuff too. We're still business people. We have to, not just be fun and try and give away things. And then I think we used Constant Contact for a half a minute, and that ended up in spam. So now we're on to something else. But anyway, it'll say, and be one of the first to answer up, and you can get this thing. And so they reply, and they'll say, "Did I make the cut, or did I win, or whatever it is?" And I'll say, "Absolutely. When do you want to get together? Will you be by my office sometime this week, or do you want to grab a coffee?" I will admit there are times I don't get to see them face to face just because like they'll say they'll be in tomorrow afternoon and then they're like, "Oh, I had to pick up the kid from school early." Things happen. But for the most part, the intent is to get face to face. And then there's times I had two this month that they answered up late, and I said they were all claimed already, but if somebody doesn't pick one up, you're first on the wait list. So you still have that communication that isn't like, "Hey, do you want to buy or sell a house?" Um,
right.
but you're staying top of mind. And that's the other part of these giveaways is, I mean, the skincare thing that'll get used and tossed, but some of the things that we've given away are things that people still have in their houses years later. And they'll even tag me on Facebook with like, "Look at what I found," or things like that. So you want something cute and thoughtful and original. I always say this though, in case we don't get to it, don't just give away your branded swag stuff. Nobody wants a
Mm-hmm.
hoodie with your
Mm-hmm.
you know whatever home team, whatever your team
Yeah.
name is. It has to be something that somebody would go buy.
Yeah. It's not about
Yeah,
you, it's about them. Right.
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 Yeah.
So lots of questions on this. And I'm a detail-oriented guy. So bear with me, have some patience with me. But I'm the listener, and it's like I want to do that. I want to have what Liz does. I want to build community, have an MVP team and an MVP club, and I want to do the things she's doing to get referrals. So that's the kind of specific I'm going to ask is, all right, so how many skincare packages did you give away? And I'm going to just rattle off like these questions. So sorry about that. But how
Okay.
many did you give away?
I think it was 12 of that because they weren't cheap.
Yeah. And here's a really cool thing is that you are training your people to reply quickly to you because there's scarcity. There's a limited supply of these things. And listen, the too late conversation is not a bad conversation. It's actually a good conversation because it's going to build urgency in future emails and text message. You're building people, they're learning when Liz sends me communication, I need to communicate back quickly as a
Absolutely.
whole. That's brilliant. I freaking genius. I love it.
Thanks.
And all right. So did you buy these from the lady who does skincare, or did she give them with the hopes of promoting the business?
I got them at a discount.
Okay, because you bought 12, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And she
Only
knows
I have 12 chins. I'm the only one that would need all those
I have a
packages.
couple.
And oh, quit it. Quit it. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know why I'm laughing. So, all right. So we got 12 of these at a discount, as we should, and we send it out. Hey, I've got 12. Let me know if you want it. And you get 50 emails, and you can only give it to the timeline of the first 12. So you give the 12, and then you say, and this is what I love, Liz, and you probably do it out of efficiency and time savings and so on and so forth. But there's a psychology to it too, which is come by and get it. You're not delivering. They are coming by to get it. And there is something psychological about that. And so they come by. Well, when they come by to get it, they're not just getting the skincare package. They're getting love from Liz, and it's on your time at your place. You don't have to drive anywhere. And they're the ones that are super, super appreciative of what they're getting.
Yeah.
And, what's that worth? I don't know what the skincare programs were or the packets were,
Yeah.
but that, whatever it is, it's worth talking to 12 of your people for 15 to 30 minutes and loving on them a little bit on at your place when they're ready to go. So I,
Yeah.
I love,
And even
love,
if they
love
miss
that.
me, worst case scenario, they got to go to this beautiful building and reminded very subliminally that I am a real estate professional, that I'm
Mhm.
not working from home in my jammies. Um, not, I mean, if that's what you're doing, more
It's
power to you, but
okay. I was
it's a reminder.
actually I'm only pajamas bottom down, Liz. I
Me
just want you to know
too.
just because this hoodie looks like I'm in my pajama, I'm not in my pajama. I just want to clarify
But
that. So
you know what I mean? I like the
yeah,
fact, and I think it was, God, it's so old. It was Floyd Wickman. He had some program about like, and I can't remember the premise of it, but everything had to be at the office. So psychology,
like sweat hogs, maybe.
maybe, yeah, and
Yeah.
that people would remember or like know that you're a professional. And I was like,
Hmm.
so I kind of piggybacked off that. But
Yeah.
and
Well,
I do
having them meet you at your
sometimes
house
deliver. Yeah.
is going to be a different feel.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
just like you're doing it as a friend. But when you tie, it's just a friendly reminder that brands in the back of their head that, oh yeah, Liz is my realtor. Liz
Yeah,
is
and they're
real
seeing the
estate.
brokerage name on the
Yeah.
sign and on the door and all the things. But I do want to say sometimes I do deliver if it's easy or especially if it's like a buyer I closed and they've been doing this kitchen remodel. I'll say like, you know what, Michael, why don't I just bring it by and I can finally see that kitchen? Something like
Love
that.
it.
Or if they just had a baby, there's
Yeah.
exceptions to the rule, but generally they're not a pop by. I call them a pop in.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. It's more like visiting a friend
Mhm.
than a hit and run activity, right? I love it. All right. So love that. Now, can you give me like two or three, four or five, or what's been your most successful monthly sends where it's like you had 12 of them, but like hundreds of people wanted it. Like I would guess the Fantasy Lights tour was a really hot commodity. Like what are some hot commodity things that you've sold out that or sent out that got the best response?
So some of them are really funny because it's always the things it would be last, right? So
Mhm.
one year, what we were supposed to do didn't ship, or no, it shipped and it was the shipment was wrong or broken, and we had to pivot the day of. And my assistant and I, we went to Home Depot and the dollar store and made these garden baskets with like seedlings and pots and a spade and gloves. And I think the whole thing cost each $8, and you would have thought we were giving away $1 million. And we've done them year after year. People love them. Okay. But
What month do you give them away?
like
March?
April. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
April.
March. One year we did, I think we're going to do it again this March. It was really cute, like St. Patrick's Day theme, but it was an Irish coffee. Like we had a little thing of coffee and a little thing of Jameson and a bunch of scratch tickets, and those were a huge hit.
Love
Um,
it. Love it.
and we always do roses, a dozen roses in February, and that's we get the guys out of the database. So in the
Mm-hmm.
books, in both books, I explain you have to get stuff that you might think is dumb, like the garden basket, for instance. I don't know that I would. I love to garden, but I don't know if I would have answered up for that. Because the feedback I got after writing Perk Your Sphere in our Facebook group is people would say it's always the same 10, 20 people answering up for the
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I would always come back with you're buying the same stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to do things like I
Change
did
it up.
beer. Yeah, beer growlers. I'll drink a beer every now and then, but I didn't know what a beer growler was until I did that for a giveaway. And then all the guys came out of the database for that. Same with the roses. So
Yeah.
you have to vary up. Like a lot of times we'll do stuff for people with kids, and then we'll do stuff for people without kids. And you got to mix it up.
Mix it up. I love it. I love it. That is fantastic. Like you, I wouldn't have probably responded to the garden basket,
Right.
but the timing's perfect. That is when people are starting to think about. I mean, if you were getting the garden baskets away in October, nobody would have cared. The
Right.
timing was definitely relevant. I love the roses for February because you do get the guys, right? I mean, you would be surprised. You would think, well, you're going to get all women that want the flowers. Well, it's the guys who respond quickest. Now I don't have to buy a dozen roses for my wife or my sweetheart. I've got them. So
Yes.
I
And
love
then
that.
with that, we have a top tier, like the 80/20 principle, the winner's circle. Those are the definite raving fans, like repeat and referral business. We always do, I shouldn't say always, I'd say maybe 5 months out of the year, giveaways have some extra things. So, like for
Hmm.
February, we've done truffles for Winter Circle, which then makes the other people go, well, hang on, why am I not getting that? And I'm like, well, you have only done one transaction with us in the last 12 months. If you refer
20
somebody,
years. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm trying to get them to level up. But this year, or I should say last year, because the budget's been tight, the market's not
Hmm.
been how it was. I made and actually just wrote it down because I haven't called him yet. I have a friend that owns 3 restaurants in the area, and I set Valentine's night
Yep.
reservations with that. And I said, if your winner circle, pick a time slot and it's yours. It was free. And then,
Hmm.
funny enough, nobody took me up on it. So by February, I think 4th, I called him and canceled all of them.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
didn't damage his business either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love all of this because I mean, I like my professional passion is how to get the most amount of referrals in the least amount of time without spending a dime. So I treat budget tight every year. I treat it like the market's tight every year, and that's been very, very good to me. So I mean, I wrote down the list. None of this is very costly, but
Mm-mm,
the benefit is priceless. The benefit
absolutely.
is amazing. All right. So you did say winner circle. So I want to differentiate that for the listeners. So you send an email and a text to the everyone. Do you send a different email and text for the winner circle item, or do you do put in there, hey, listen, this is for everybody, but if you're part of our winner circle and you reply, you could maybe have this. Is
Yeah,
that how
it's
you do it?
yes, it's one email because I want the
Yeah.
regular MVPs to want to level up.
Mm. Yeah, you are kicking in social proof in a big, big way. And social proof is essentially if they get it, I want it too, right?
Exactly.
If you know, I love that. That's genius. I'm sorry if I keep calling you a genius and keep calling you
Hey,
brilliant.
I'll take it.
Um,
I
but
have a teenage boy that thinks I'm the village idiot. So
oh my God, we are so similar. Max just turned 17, and from the time he turned 13 on, I have been the stupidest guy on earth. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
same.
like, I'm so glad to hear it doesn't just happen to the stupid people, right?
No,
I like believe him. Like, I'm like, you're right, I am stupid, but like,
you are not.
maybe it's him. Maybe it's him a little bit too. Maybe it's just a
Maybe.
phase. Maybe now they do grow out of this phase at some point, right?
I hear that.
25, 30,
I don't,
35.
I only have one kid, so I
Oh,
have no
geez.
idea.
I'm telling you. All right. So one of the things that I love that you talk about in Perk Your Sphere is building like a VIP list and talking about your MVPs and that kind of thing. And it's like if somebody was just getting started, what what would you suggest to them? Where is the first place to get started? And then I want to build off of that first step to you're a master community builder. I want to then go to, man, what you did in one community to the point of like being able to sell a community and then going into another community and basically starting from scratch and building that one to this big robust thing. So let's kind of go first step first and then talk about your community building system.
Okay, well, what I do love about the program in Perk Your Sphere and Get Your Sphere in Gear is that it's completely scalable. So whether you know 10 people or 100,000 people, it works.
Hmm.
So what I say for new people, like I started my program in 2014. So I'd been in business 10 years. So when I did the launch, which is the most important part of the program, you can't just start giving stuff away without doing a proper campaign on it, which I outline in the chapter talking about the launch. But you need to, um, nobody will know how many people you have in your database or whatever. Actually, I skipped ahead, but on my thing was a letter of apology. It was an email I sent out and a letter saying, I've done a terrible job of taking care of you as my clients as you have been taking care of me with your referrals. And yes, I sent that to people that never sent me a referral after closing because of the same thing. I wanted them to feel like, oh, wait a second, are we supposed to be doing that? Yes, you are, Susan. So then, um, if you're new, though, I've told people write it out like, hey, my home buying experience was like this, and I've decided now that I'm a newly licensed realtor, I'm going to do things different. I want to build a community. I want to do, blah, blah, blah. So you can start this from scratch and not have to apologize for your bad communication in the past. And with the like, nobody knows how big your database is. You can say, and I've had to do it too when things have come broken or went missing, where we have 10 of these and I really only have seven. Nobody knows. So I tell
Yeah.
people that are brand new, say, the first 10 people to answer up gets this gift basket, let's say. You could have two. They don't know,
Hmm. Yeah.
and it's
Yep.
okay. So
Yep.
you just start small and you just build. And so, yeah,
Yep.
some of our giveaways, we do have to get like 20 or 30, or open it up to a bigger venue type of thing. And then some of them just based on cost or based on popularity, we get we still stick with 10, 12, or whatever.
Love it. So get started, start small. And it does remind me of one of my first events. I decided to give away I was giving away trees essentially. But if you know the trees that you order from arborday.org, I was
Mm.
so disappointed. When they came, they were not trees. They were twigs, Liz. They were like the size of my finger in
Yeah.
some water in a package that was super small and insignificant. And it was like, oh no, right? Oh no. And so, but I was on the phone and I was saying, hey, everybody come by and I'll give you a tree, right? And we did dress them up. We put them inside a coffee mug and then we put green
Wow.
paper and then twisted it. And then my wife put some lace and a bow around it and made it look more significant. But what was interesting is that, like, we only had 5 people show up to that event. So
Oh,
yeah, so I invited like 50 people, but I only had like 7 trees, right? Because I only had 5 people confirm. I was like, I'm just going to get 7 trees. Well, it was so funny is a guy named Jeff came in the second hour of the event and there were still 5 left on the table. But he comes in and he goes, "Oh my gosh, good thing I got here when I did. There's only 5 left."
yeah.
And
You're like, thank God, right?
I go, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you came and got one too." I mean, 10 minutes later, they might have all been gone. No way. But I just played it off bigger than anything. And what's funny is we still laugh about that event to this day. And
Mm,
but you got to start small. And they don't know we only had 7, and
yeah,
nobody knew that we only had 5 people show up.
right.
So it just start small and then work your way from there. I absolutely
Well,
love it.
can I add on to
Yeah.
that real quick? So I was one of those agents. I was terrified to ever have like a big client event. Because I'm like, what do we do? Like, do I have to hire entertainment? The thought of that just sent me into a full-blown anxiety attack. So when I started this program, I started doing smaller things like on Groupon, I would find real cheap tickets to go do those like paint and sips
Yep.
where, and I would say, I got 12 tickets or 15 tickets and it was still a party, but it was manageable and we had something to do. And then I've won it twice. Well, not one because I bid on it like at a silent auction at Total Wine. They have a tasting room and like you can do like the tour of Italy or the south of France, like different things like that. And I've had events there where there's a person giving a class on wine. So I'm off the hook of having to provide entertainment or something to do. And it's small and intimate, and it gives you time to sit down and talk to everybody.
I of course love that, right? I mean, I'm on the biggest events kick in the history of the world for the last 10 years. And I'm teaching a class called Event Mastery VIP Edition right now.
Mm.
Whereas the Event Mastery typical class is everyone, right? It's the bigger events. Event Mastery VIP Edition is the smaller, more intimate. It'd be for your like winner circle instead
Yeah,
of for everyone. And so the big suggestions right now, one lady is actually doing a sip and paint, Liz. I mean,
love it.
literally, you nailed it. And then I have people all over the country. We have over 1,250 plus people in this class. We have people all over the country running to ABC Liquor and Total Wine to try to get that back room for the week
Hmm.
of Valentine's Day to host a wine tasting.
I love it.
And I mean, you just nailed it, right? Is that you don't have to do the entertainment. It's done by somebody else. You can just love on your people and not sweat it, you know?
Right.
So I love it. I love it. All right. So you I mean literally built a community step by step to the point of being able to sell it, and then moved to another area and step by step built this amazing community in where you're at now.
Yeah.
So if somebody, let's just moved, or somebody moved and they want to start building that community, what are the steps? What are there, 3 steps or 5 steps or 7 steps or like?
It's a
or a
lot of
hundred
steps.
steps.
So
There's
the first time I did it, it was an established community. It was Lake Tapps, Washington. There were lots of heavy hitter realtors in the area, and I wanted to start farming it. And so I would just start like with this one little neighborhood, and then as revenue came in, I would buy, more lists to send more postcards. But also, I would make sure that if there was a community event, I would find a way to be there. So, like, they would do
Mhm.
a polar bear plunge on New Year's Day. Me and my partner that I had at the time would set up our like a little stand with our banner and everything and hand out hot chocolate.
Knew it. I love
Yep.
it. Brilliant.
Yes. And there was like a or there was trick or treating in this shopping center in the area, and we set up a photo booth, like costume contest for the kids, which I just started doing again recently, and it's been a big hit again.
Mm.
Um, so just inserting yourself where you can, and then I did move, and so the community I moved to, it was one, it was beautiful, but also it was brand new. And there was only 300 homes here at the time. And I knew the community, according to the plan, was to be 9,000 homes. And I said,
Oh,
I'm going to
wow.
own that place. I'm going to retain 20% market share, no matter what I have to do. Well,
Yeah.
within the law. Uh, but as soon as I moved here, I started volunteering for all the community events, even stuffing Easter eggs. And I helped with this hot air balloon thing that I thought I was going to die, but I didn't. But I just inserted myself. And so I'd send out the postcards. So when people would see that, they were like, oh, are you that girl? Um, and yeah, and if I get invited to something, I'm going, even if I don't want to go. I'm kind of an extrovert, but the older I get, the less I am. But I will force
I
myself.
definitely understand that.
Yeah,
Definitely understand that
I'm
part.
like, this is work. I'm going. And
So
I'm
your
gonna,
farming is postcards? Is it postcards? It's attending events and visibility, and
Mhm.
then it's postcard. What did you put on the postcards?
I used Fact because it had the ability for people to log in and check their home value.
Hmm.
And I'm doing something similar now through Brivity. They
Okay.
have the same thing, but
Same technology. Hmm.
yeah, so when people see how like that I farm at a high level, they think it was just postcards. And I'm like, don't I wish? No.
Hmm.
It is going to the dog park. It is going to any community thing. Like tonight there's trivia, and I'm trying to see if anybody will go with me. And even still, like I have an amazing espresso machine at home, but I'll go to the local coffee shop just to show my face and see past clients or future clients, or I'll get, and I did learn this the hard way, not to go with last night's mascara running down my face and looking homeless, because people will say, "Are you Liz Johnson?" And I'm like, "Dang it."
It's like
Um,
going to anywhere in your sweats.
yeah, well, I'll
You're going to
go.
run into somebody.
I will go. I mean, I have to keep my brand is Liz keeps it real. So I
Yeah.
do have to be like this morning. I was out walking my dog with no makeup and hair a mess and in a hoodie, and I wasn't even matching. But it's not about that I looked good. It's that people see that I'm literally walking the walk of the community. I'm walking my dogs on the trails in the community because I love it here. I post things about the community all the time. Now we've been hosting our own events like the costume contest. I did that in conjunction with the HOA, but then we didn't do it this December because of budget and just the amount of work. But 2 years in a row before that, we did a Grinch party at our community center. Instead of like pictures with Santa, we had a whole Grinch thing, and it was a huge hit. So that's where the farming and community stuff has merged in with the sphere because
Mhm.
now it's just all in one. I mean, my
Wow.
whole sphere does not live in this community, and
Right.
the whole
You've combined
community is
them.
not my sphere.
Right.
Right. But
Right.
what
You've
I
married
learned,
them. Married them.
yeah. So
Yeah.
back when the market was tough before, It was Gary Keller. He said, if you don't have enough people in your database to hit your goals, you just have to find a way to add more people to your database. So I did that with the I Love Lake Taps thing. Was I created a Facebook page, a website to draw people in and then have them become part of my sphere once I got to know them. So they weren't just
Hmm.
followers. We would have communications and I would see them in person and they would be like, are you the I Love Lake Taps girl? And now it's just with the new place, Living to Holly, and Liz keeps it real. So it's
Love it.
very, very involved. So it's
How do you
not
spell
it's not for
Tahali?
everybody.
How do you
Ha-
spell Tahali,
Tahali,
by the way?
Tehaleh.
So it's TehA.
Hmm.
Okay. And all right. So I first of all, where does somebody get Perk Your Sphere and Get Your Sphere in Gear? Where can they get the book?
Amazon.
They're going to want to get the book. So where do they
Yeah,
get it?
Amazon, and it's on Kindle as well.
Okay. Do you have an audiobook yet? Because
No,
I would love for you to read to me.
oh,
I
I'm like,
just I
nobody
can
wants to
imagine.
hear this voice. Jeez. I
No,
do
I
need
think
to
we
figure
do.
that
But
out.
I would love the little snippets that you would put at the end of some of the paragraphs. I could just only imagine the keep it real part of Liz Johnson coming
Right.
out on that audiobook.
Right. It'd
I
be a
would,
lot of bleeps.
yeah, I love it. I love it. We've kept this rated E the whole time, though.
I know. I do
Pretty
a lot of
impressive.
these, so I've gotten really good at remembering I'm on official business here.
Yeah. So, all right. So, how do referrals come in? Like, what is like? Tell me your last three referrals and how it went. Like, what they call you, you call them. They text you, you text them. It came from
Well,
an email. What
what yeah, a lot of one's my ex-husband. He's moving.
he was
He's
referred to you, or he did
no,
refer somebody to you?
he's referring himself.
Oh, nice.
But I'll have a referral for an agent in Florida. He's moving away. But I'll list his place. Let's see the referral before that. Oh, some clients, and actually, so when I talk about in the chapter of like who gets to be in your group, I say people that you closed business with that you'd want to work with again, obviously. People who've referred business to you, even if they've never bought or sold a home. I have a bunch of those in my database. Like I wasn't their realtor, but they give me referrals. And then I say people who tried to do business. So this is a classic example. They listed their house with me because they were moving out of state for a job, and then that didn't work out. So they took their house off the market, but they just referred their kids. And I love it because he's 21 and she's 20 and they're buying their first home. So
Oh,
we're chipping away at that average first time home
age.
buyer age. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing they can afford it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the
Well,
big thing these
we're
days.
not
Good
looking
thing.
at glamorous mansions, but they are,
They
I
got
mean, yeah.
got to start somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
my first house was not very expensive, but it allowed me to move up, right?
Yep.
Eventually. All right, so I love it. So you get them through different modes. Sometimes they email you, sometimes they text you, sometimes they call you. It
Yeah. I'd say usually
yeah,
call or text.
yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So we've covered a lot of ground. I mean, and I want the readers and viewers to also, and the listeners. Listeners, you're going to have a hard time seeing this, but here, this paper rustle, right? I'm rustling paper. One page of notes, two pages of notes,
Oh,
three pages of notes,
all
right?
right.
So three and a half pages of notes from this conversation. Three
I
and a
love
half
it.
pages. And I could probably ask you 5,000 more questions about like everything else. But I tell you, this has been awesome. So I think one like words of wisdom, like somebody wrap this up for me in a bow, or help someone make sense of three and a half pages of notes. What would be your words of wisdom or words of advice for someone who wants to be like Liz Johnson in a year or 3 years? They want to build what you've built. We're not talking just new agent. We're talking somebody that's been in business 10 years and they got
Yeah.
to start somewhere.
I would say that if you have a thought of someone, don't get in your head about, oh, Michael, I don't know what to say to him. He's just going to think that, just call him. And my favorite script is, hey, how have you been? I was thinking of you. It's
Mm,
it's
mm,
just a great opener and it's easy and it's simple and everyone understands it. And it's not salesy.
mm,
And that's it. And then the other part is which people you have to be pretty organized still, even
mhm,
though it's referral based and we're having parties and we're having a good time. I've mentioned a few things like you got to check your ROI on certain things and you got to stay in budget. I had to know who was in my winner's circle because of a spreadsheet. If their name popped up so many times, that meant that they had hit that 20% thing. Like they're clearly my biggest fans.
mhm.
Um, and you gotta still do the work.
Oh no, you had everybody going for
Until
nearly
I
an hour, Liz. You had them sold. This was going to be the get rich quick scheme of the year
well,
where they could do like nothing
let
and
me
the payoff would be, you mean we gotta work?
No,
That's
okay, let me give a better close then. I went from 160,000 in debt to a net worth of 4 million in about 10 years, 11 years without cold calling, just by doing this stuff. So
there
that
you
should
go.
close them. How about that?
That's right. But the thing is, you didn't do it by doing that. You freaking worked your butt off, Liz. You worked your butt off.
Yeah.
There's
But I had
no
fun
yeah.
working. It was
Yeah.
fun work.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot more fun when it's referrals. Like
Exactly.
it really sucks to try to convince strangers who you don't even know. Like, do you really want to convince them to work with you? And like, it's really hard to break that, especially in today's world. Trust is the most precious currency in today's world, and there's less of it. Every call you make, they're less likely to trust you in the beginning. So
Mhm.
that's why this fear is such a big deal, is because there's already this baseline of trust, and everything's easier when there's a baseline of trust. I mean, you nailed it, right? And I also love the part is you don't realize it, and maybe I don't harp on it enough, but you calling and saying, how are you doing? How's everything going? I just thought of you. Is work. Like that is work. That is us working because we got to genuinely care in the answer. And we do need to genuinely care and think of them and that kind of thing. And we made the call. The difference is there's a lot of people who won't make the call. So
Right.
you hit it
Because
on
we
the
get in
head.
our heads.
Yeah, because we get in our head. And what's funny is just like Coach says in 7L, is that if you have call reluctance, it's because you're selfish. If you
Mhm.
have call reluctance, it's because you're thinking about you. You're thinking about your problem. If you're thinking about the other person and you're seriously curious about the other person, then it's easy to make that call because you've got lots of questions. And so, I think it's one of those we need to get out of our head about it and just make the call, like you said, and make the text, send the text, make the call, send the email. I absolutely love your perks program. I absolutely love the idea of the scarcity with it. You've got social proof incorporated with the winning circle, winner circle versus the rest of your MVPs and sphere. I love how you've combined the farm with the sphere to make it one big sphere of influence for Liz Johnson. I love how you keep it real. I love how you speak in short bursts instead of hitting me over the head with a 55 like minute story, right? I just love you and I just appreciate you so much.
Aw,
And I'm
well,
so
thank you.
glad that we had a chance to sit down and have this conversation today.
Yeah, anytime. If you want part two, part 10, whatever, let me know.
Oh, there's going to be a part two.
All
That's
right.
happening. That's going to happen. That's going to happen.
All
But
righty.
I cannot think of a better way to launch the year of the sphere than with a gal who wrote Perk Your Sphere and Get Your Year in Gear.
Get your sphere in gear.
I'm sorry. It is get your rear and gear.
Well,
It's
you're talking about year and gear and sphere
get,
and
I love that you caught me in saying get your rear in gear versus get your sphere in gear. So I love it. I appreciate you. And I just want to say on behalf of the listeners and the viewers and myself, thank you so much for being our guest today here on Referrals Podcast.
well, thank you. It truly was an honor. Like I said, your book helped me shape my program and my business. So
Well, thank you. I
forever
appreciate that.
grateful.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. I hope that you are more excited for the year of the sphere than you ever have been. This is the year, everyone. This is the year. I know there's a lot of different ways to generate leads. I know but you got to realize all the research shows that 4 out of your next 5 transactions are coming from your sphere, whether you like it or not. If you're new, 4 out of your first 5 transactions will be from your sphere. Why not accelerate that? Implement what you heard today. Implement what you hear from 7L. Implement the referral mastery system. Implement. Bottom line is implement and make it happen. And here's the thing. I know what our next episode is. You're not going to want to miss that. And it does have a timeliness aspect to it. So you might want to hit subscribe and make sure that that is downloaded and ready to go. And you're going to want to listen to that one too. It's great follow up. How could you imagine being the person that's got to try to follow Liz Johnson? Oh my God, they better be good. They are. I'm just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. And we'll see you next time on Referrals Podcast.